Hey guys, good luck from Vera. She's a really great host and sees really great things in everybody's pieces. I don't know if you guys like slam poetry, but there's a big slam madness. 64 poets are competing in like March Madness kind of thing. This poet will play another poet, and it's the 23rd to the 25th. If you want like a ticket, I can get one for me. They're $5. You can come to the show. There are a lot of different places. Cafe and then some, right? Cafe and then some is the finals, but the other nights are other places, and they're on that thing. I don't have it here. What I was going to read is I wrote this book called The Upper Middle Class Suburban White Boy Enlightened Guru Blues, and I think I'm going to publish it. I really enjoy it. I think it's really good, and I'm going to read a little bit from it. And it's very foul. So if there's a lot of I'm too loud. It's very foul, so if people have a lot of issues with profanity and things of that nature, you might want to leave the room or cover your ears. Or judge me, whichever one you feel. Whichever one makes you feel better. Okay, here we go.
Oh my Lord, how much perfect sense does this make? The one weekend I come back to my hometown in 2 years, I find Brian Wheelerman on the street in a fight with some grungy, ugly monkey child. Dear God, why haven't you changed a bit?
And yes, upon hearing the shrill, pressing voice, I immediately knew who it was, but suspended my belief as long as I could, hoping it was someone else, anything else. But then I looked at it, and there it was in the flesh and horror, Allison Evans and her passionless butter pecan sidekick, Jamie Graves.
This is so sad. Why are you still here? For God's sakes, have you ever left Greenville?
My 6th grade self started jerking off with fear inside of me. I went to Spartanburg recently, where my friend's band is playing the show.
I bet you still live with your parents and they're jobless. To think you had so much potential and you wasted it on doing drugs and trying to be all unique like.
Allison said as somewhere inside me, or maybe in New Jersey, I felt a man being stabbed to death by his waitress.
Jamie, did you know Brian made a $14.90 on his SAT?
Okay, so I bet you're wondering who this perfect divine bitch was. Allison Evans is her name, being the most horrible, superficial cunt her game. She was one of the rich, popular, oh, I'm so over it tailwaggers of my graduating class. We went to school together from 1st grade to 12th grade. All the boys wanted her pussy while the girls wanted her ass. She was fucking hot though. God damn, her ass in gym shorts made a hardcore Compton gangsta thug buy flowers for himself. A stock market cracker roll a blunt for his verbally abusive fat ass boss. I always had this horny dream boyhood crush on her because my love was never stopped due to the invisible walls of social status. But since I was not in the same popular group as her, she hated me terrifically. I swear to God I had no clue what I did or what I didn't do, but that cunt bitch made me feel so bad about myself growing up, it was fucking bonkers. Middle school was the worst. All she did was tell me and everyone else how stupid I was, how weird I was, how retarded I was, how bad I smelled, how out of style my clothes were, and if I was ever lucky enough to be talking to girls, she would walk right up and be like, "Look how bad Jesus fucked up when he made him." Of course, all the girls would laugh hysterically at me like a Thursday freak at a Tuesday Dairy Queen, because she was the sexiest beer in the fridge, the hairiest beaver in the whole goddamn dam. One day I came home crying to my mother, and she told me Allison probably had a crush on me and didn't want to admit it. The next day when we were the last partners to leave the science lab, I tried to kiss her, and she flipped shit, slapped the fuck out of me, and I spent 3 days in ISS. It did get a little better in high school. By that time I was in all remedial classes, so I never saw her, plus I was always drunk, so I didn't give a fuck. She did, however, spread a rumor that I had a really small, smelly dick, and none of the girls wanted to fuck me or blow me or date me. I did not even kiss a girl until my senior year, and she was 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon wasted with a mouthful of someone else's dried semen. Basically, Allison Evans forced me to go very deep within myself, to face my pain and renew the energy. Actually, I lied to everyone to make it seem like I was that guy that does nothing but's the smartest kid in class. I really made a 990.
Why can't you get your life on track? Look at me. I'm doing fabulous. I work with the most interesting, hardworking women at Mary Kay Jewelers, selling the finest jewels to the richest people. Every Wednesday night, my boss takes me out to Alejandro's Steakhouse, talk to the other girls, because I'm by far his favorite, since I do by far the best business.
You got a job? How'd you get one of those, and where do you go to get one?
Of course I have a job. Everyone has a job. Plus, I have an incredible husband, Simon Cogdale, who's the local weatherman with a flawless sense of humor. He has this joke where he says his profession is the only profession where you can be right half the time and still keep your job, and boy, does he keep his job. He makes boatloads of money, though we don't need it because both our parents are filthy rich.
Can I have some money?
Hell no, I'm not giving money to a mooching grubber like you.
Allison yelled at me with the same amount of hatred she used to yell at me with in 7th grade.
Plus, I have two beautiful children, Derek and Drake, who want to be little Alex Rodriguez's and Derek Jeters, but don't tell Simon because he's a diehard Boston Red Sox fan, and of course we saw them win the World Series in '07. It was magical.
Wow, you're doing so much better than I am.
No, duh, because I actually did well in school, wasn't a stupid asshole who tried to be a class clown for attention and pissed the teacher off all the time.
I only did that for your attention, you beautiful angel.
Here I am trying to help you right now, and you're being a jackass right now. I guess some people never get it and stay the same horrible way forever.
Allison said, looking at her other mindless line, Jamie Graves.
Jamie, one thing I learned is you gotta say F the haters. So let's leave this loser on the street where he belongs and go have ourselves a good time with the real men at Carolina Ale House.
With my body still leaning against the sushi bar, I slid my back against the icy brick, fell on my back, put my hands up to my face, and cried materialistic tears, sharp and cold. My first response was to laugh it off, to tell myself this superficial dumb bitch didn't know shit. I was the goddamn enlightened guru. Why did I care what she thinks? But my heart refused to believe the lie of my mind, and I cried the proof of an orphanage. The truth was I did care. The truth was I always cared what she thought about me. The truth was all I wanted was for her to like me and dress me up in Lily Pulitzer Polish cotton sundresses like her own personal doll and let me loose in her dollhouse forever. Haha, just kidding about the last part, I hope. But for real, the only truth that always seemed to be smiling directly at me was the fact that once again, I was staring at a crystal clear mirror, and I, the great, enlightened, wounded faggot one, was just as superficial, materialistic, and judgmental as her. Though I'd spent my life telling myself I was more pious than the banker, had more soul than an intellectual, more legit than the princess, far more progressive than the normal, mediocre, mundane, society-swelled, everyday human being, I wasn't. I was exactly like them in every single insecure, shallow, surface-level way. I was no white chariot mystical hero. I was no wise, inspirational soul. I was no goddamn enlightened guru.